it's Moonlight Mason. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and this may be the second video that you've seen. I know I got a lot of subscribers when I did the mango tea interview, so I've been getting a lot of questions that people want to know more about me, and I just wanted to let you know there is a playlist that's called True Stories. It's true stories from my life, so if you want to know more about me, you might want to check out that playlist. But of course, I will be uploading, some random videos about my life and me. And I always hook up different random videos. Also, once a month when I go and get my nails done, I do a car vlog. But in this video, girl, we're going to talk about my favorite, Trisha Paytas, hooking up with Aaron Carter and all of that drama that took place after she went to his house. After she went to his house. Now, this isn't the first time that they've hooked up. And this isn't the first time that he lied to her and said that, he really wasn't in a relationship. But let's just get right into it. Keep watching. Okay, so this happened. This kind of like the same situation has happened before between Trisha and Aaron Carter. About 3 years ago, they had hooked up, and they probably hooked up more than 3 times, more than the times that we know. And they also hooked up about a year ago. And several of these hookups have been when either Trisha or Aaron have been on a rebound. And that is a word that Trisha did use. She said, he was on a rebound, which really isn't true. We're going to get into that. And she is on a rebound, which is true. And she will be on a rebound until she finds her next boyfriend, because that's how Trisha rolls. Now, I want to put in here a little bit about Trisha's depression and how it's been uplifted a little bit or more than a little bit, because I've made videos in the past, and I've made so many videos trying to help Trisha. One of the videos was, break your pattern. If you're sad or you're depressed, one of the things that you can do is, like, if you usually drive out of your house and you go right to go to work or something, if you make a left, little things like that change your pattern, and it'll actually change your life. Well, Trisha Paytas' pattern has drastically changed. She's now touring. And so how can you be sad? How can you be depressed when you're out there and you feel so blissful when she's out there in front of, all of her fans, and she's singing and she's performing and she's feeling so blissful, and you're going from place to place. And so not only your mind and your body and everything about you is kept busy, working on creativity, working on her music, working on her dancing, which, by the way, I just want to say, I don't understand why Trisha just doesn't go and take singing lessons. I mean, that's just like the clearest pathway that to me, it just makes sense. If you're going to go out there and do a tour and you're singing and you're performing, don't you think that you would want to, reach that next level in singing? And so when you see these videos of people trying to, singers, like professionals, trying to analyze, Trisha Paytas' singing, it's like, nah, because she's not a singer. Even she says, I'm not a singer. So that means that if you and I had all this money and you had a dream of being a rock star, and you can buy anything. Just remember that. You can buy your dancers, you can buy venues, you can, buy the best costumes that are, tailored to your body, that are made for you. You can buy whatever you want when you have tons of money. So Trisha is touring, and it has definitely helped her tremendously with her depression. And also, the touring came at a great time in her life, because, she had just broken up with Jason, and then she was going through all that stuff. And now look at how happy, and she seems more well-balanced, because she doesn't have time to think about the things that pain her or the things that aren't working out. So what happened with Aaron Carter is, she knows him, she's had hookups with him before, and this time she is saying that, she said 2 or 3 times, I was looking kind of cute, and he was going to come over to her house, and she ended up going to his house, and it was quite a ways, and she said 3 times, I was looking kind of cute. But of course, she's going over there at 12:30 at night, in her mind, to think to film a video, right? I don't believe it. I know Trisha, and I don't believe that Trisha Paytas would go to a man's house looking cute at 12:30 at night to film. Okay, so that doesn't really, that's just common sense. So she went over there knowing that they would have a hookup, especially after Aaron, according to Trisha, Aaron Carter asked her to spend a couple of days there, right? So she went and she spent the night. Now, she says that when she got there, she saw all of this, stuff, these women's things, and she kept asking him. She said, I asked him several times, what's going on in here? And he said, Aaron Carter said that he broke up with this girl, that she was crazy, that they're not getting back together. I'm just telling you, you guys, this is a familiar story that will happen if you're out there hooking up or just meeting different guys or different girls. Now listen, I'm an esthetician and I do facials, and when mostly women come to me, they lay down and I'm working on them for an hour and a half because my facials are an hour and a half long. And they confide in me and they tell me a lot. I'm just letting you know that it used to be where men used to get the bad rap of not being a good husband or a good provider or a good boyfriend or whatever. I think the girls and the women have gotten worse over time on how they treat their men. That's what I think. Now, it may be something like retaliation for all the stuff that women have had to go through in the past. I don't know what it is, but some of the stories I've heard of cheating, of lying, of stealing, of gold digging, all of it is mostly from women, and that is in present day. So she goes over there, and this guy, Aaron Carter, tells her, all of this BS, because when she left, he texted her something and said something like, I texted my ex-girlfriend and we got back together. And then Trisha gets some kind of message from the ex-girlfriend saying, oh, you're nasty and I need to go to to get checked for STDs. Now, let's just stop right there, okay? That means that no one used any protection. If that girl feels like she needs to go get tested for STDs, obviously her boyfriend, Aaron Carter, and Trisha did not use protection. And Trisha even said in her video, I trust him. Okay. When it comes to sex, knocking boots, as we used to call it, I love that term. When it comes to knocking boots, you can't trust anyone. You really can't. Even your husband or your wife. Now, but you're going to go into it, if you're married, you're going to go into it with trust. And I was married for 10 years, and so you should have unprotected sex with your spouse, right, when you're married. But when you're out there hooking up and you have unprotected sex, it's something that's in the moment. It's something that, people like to blame on liquor or, getting high, or I wasn't thinking and I was drunk, and all the stuff that comes with hooking up with strangers. I have a video. I even made a video called Hooking Up with Strangers, this whole culture. But anyways, Aaron Carter and Trisha Paytas are not strangers. The thing is that Trisha, she got a little upset because he did lie to her because they got back together. And then when he gets back together with his girlfriend, what does Aaron do? Well, that girl tells him, you gotta unfollow her, I can hear it right now, I can hear it right now. all right? Right? And so Aaron goes and unfollows Trisha, which confuses her. And then he goes and he says some negative things about Trisha, like she's crazy and all this negativity, and it confuses Trisha. And so she's trying to find out, what the hell's going on here. And the one thing that Trisha does say and get correct is you don't go after the woman, you don't go after the girlfriend, right? So if you have a boyfriend and you guys break up for 1 or 2 nights, let's say, and he goes and he hooks up with someone, number one, it's not considered cheating. Not to me. I'm not talking about my perception. I'm talking about the general perception out there. Well, we weren't together when he hooked up or I hooked up. We were broken up. Even though it was for 8 hours, okay? Even though it was for 4 hours, even though it was for 2 days, even though it was 1 night, we were broken up because those words were spoken. We're no longer together. Okay, you guys, you cannot cut the emotional, the heart, and the love, and the caring cord just by saying to someone, we're no longer together, okay? And I've got something else to tell. If you and your man or you and your woman are together and you guys break up, right? That doesn't mean, okay, wait. If you guys break up and immediately someone's hooking up with someone else, because the emotional tie, the love, supposedly, you're hooking up, I love you, that does not go away. You don't snip the cord like that just with a couple of words. And then, after the hookup, okay, you get back together. Which, in a lot of ways, is like, I'm not saying Aaron Carter did this, but a lot of people do this to get back with their boyfriend or girlfriend by making them jealous or to make them feel better about themselves. Hey, I still got it. I can get her, but I really want back my girlfriend. It's all child's play. Now, listening to Trisha's video about her and Aaron Carter, it's the whole thing is like high school when you think about it, okay? Like, he followed me, he unfollowed me, and we're gonna talk about this, how I hooked up, and and then she talks about how she still loves him and she supports him and what a great guy he is, and she doesn't know if anything is wrong with his well-being. She just saw him, she thinks he's fine, and all of this stuff, and how she wants to continue to support him, yet she just slept with him, and guess what? It means nothing, okay? It's just a hookup. I am talking to you guys so that you guys can think about this. I don't think, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, there is nothing wrong with, it used to be called a one-night stand, but now it's called a hookup, especially on, I forgot the site, not Twitter, that other site. Whatever, that site I'm talking about that's really popular, and then you swipe left or you swipe right. I can't think of it because I haven't made mention of it in my head, or I haven't said the website in a long time, so I can't think of what it's called right now. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you're out there and you're hooking up, and now men and women, they say, you know what, that's all I want to do. I just want to hook up because I don't want the problem of having a boyfriend. I have a great career. I don't want the problem of having a girlfriend. She's going to mess me up. I just want sex. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with 2 people, consenting adults, hooking up and goodbye. If that's what you want to do. I do highly, highly recommend that everyone use protection just to protect your health. But other than that, I don't see anything wrong with it. What's wrong with it is when you have a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend and you're saying, oh, we broke up and it's okay for me to hook up with you now. Or, don't you think that, that's a sign, you guys, that, she went there and she saw all these women's things all around and she asked him and he said, yeah, well, she hasn't come to pick up her stuff yet. And she even said it's like, if someone went over to Jason's and saw her stuff that was over there for a little while, but they weren't together and someone was hooking up with Jason, she said, that would be like kind of the same thing. But that means it's not over. I mean, you do not, I would not, let me put it this way, okay? Well, actually, I can share a personal story here. So I started seeing this guy, and I'm not going to go into all the details unless you guys say make a story time about it, because I'm just going to cut right through it. I ended up going to his apartment, and his apartment actually was really like, minimal. It was clean. I mean, I did not see anything feminine in that apartment. There weren't any pictures. There weren't any, women's cologne or perfume or hairbrushes or anything like that, right? But, him and I were like hanging out and having fun on the sofa and stuff. And we were fully dressed. Nothing ever happened, but we're fully dressed. And I was straddling him, and he's sitting on the sofa, and we're kissing and everything. I mean, with clothes on, straddling him, like sitting down on him, facing him on the sofa. And, we're kissing and making out and stuff. And he says to me, I have to tell you something. And I thought he was going to say, I don't know, something about me, maybe my breath smells, go brush my teeth, or, I don't know, I don't know what he was going to say. So I was like, well, what is it, And you know what he tells me? He said, my girlfriend lives here. When he said that, I got so scared. I jumped off of him, and I just said, what? What are you saying? Well, his girlfriend is a professional dancer. I'm sure that Sean Vanderbilt knows who she is because, I don't want to go any further. But anyways, she's a professional dancer. I actually know he knows who she is, but he wouldn't know who she was. I mean, who she is based on this conversation, he wouldn't know. So anyways, so she's always on tour dancing, this guy's girlfriend, right? And he goes, and I'm like, wow, what if she comes home right now? What if she comes here? And he goes, oh no, she's, touring. She's somewhere else. And, I immediately left. And I left. And he has an office close to my house. And so a couple of times he called me and he said, hey, can I just come over and say hi? And I said, okay. And he would come over for like 5 minutes if he had a break. And he would just like hold me and kiss me, and then he would leave. So that happened like 2 times. And then like the 3rd time he said, can I come over? And I'm like, no, I don't, and I invited him to come hang with me at different events that I go to, where some of my friends are. My friends met him, and at one event, he even told someone that I was his girlfriend. I had gone to the restroom. It was a party. And I'd gone to the restroom, and he was waiting outside of the restroom, and someone had asked him, how did you and, Moonlight Mason meet? And he said, oh, I met my girlfriend. Meaning me. So now this guy who lives with his girlfriend is telling all of my friends, think about it, that I'm his girlfriend. I'm not his girlfriend. I've never had sex with the guy. Nothing. He lives with another girl, and yet he's telling all my friends that I'm his girlfriend. So that was it. After that, he did call me a couple times and text me, and I just, because he has a lot of girls, okay? Because he would tell me about them. He has a lot of girls. And I'm single. If I wasn't single, I wouldn't be, seeing this guy, right? So I just, let it go. And there wasn't any grief about it. I didn't get any drama or upset about it because I was like, this isn't a good guy. This is not a good guy. And it's not that, young people now, it's not that they're not good or bad. Sometimes it's your culture and how you grow up with and what you see that's happening socially, accepted actions that are out there. And you're like, okay, well, this is socially accepted, except that many of you are young, especially the women and maybe some of you men, and many of you are virgins. And sometimes you connect with me and we talk about your virginity status and you know who you are, and you know that is up to you. I think that, you know, the older you get, and the more you're still a virgin when you get older and you start thinking rationally, then you know, you know, it's just up to you, you know, but I don't think that's something that should be easily given away if you're like, you know, waited so long. And I know several virgins that are in their 30s. And you know what's so funny about this one that I know? She always has a boyfriend. She gets the cutest guys, and she doesn't have to sleep with them. She does do sexual acts with them. She does, but she hasn't had, you know, intercourse because she said she's a virgin and she's going to save that for marriage. But yet she's okay with other sexual encounters with only a boyfriend that she is dating. And some of these guys are okay with it, and other guys have said to her, you know, this is, you know, it's been, you know, a year. This isn't working for me anymore. You know, other guys have said that to her, and you know, has used that underline. I can't do this anymore. It's been a year that you've been my girlfriend. We haven't actually had intercourse. They've used that underline as a reason to start fights, to end up breaking up, because it's not something that you can say, you know what, after a year, I changed my mind. I know I said it was okay and that I was going to be with you if you were a virgin and we weren't going to sleep together, but you know what, I'm changing my mind. So then Trisha Paytas had said, you know what, I'm not going to hook up anymore. Okay, so she started off by saying, you know, after she broke up with Jason, I'm not hooking up with any guys because I don't want this casual stuff anymore. I just want, you know, marriage, and that's the person that I want to hook up with, right? And what's really interesting that she has revealed just recently, which it's interesting to me because I never thought that of her, is that when Trisha Paytas is involved with someone sexually, she says she just lays there. She said it when she did that podcast with those two guys. She said, I just lay there. She either just lays on her back, right? And with Aaron Carter, the disrespect that she said towards his girlfriend, she doesn't even realize it. She doesn't even realize it. It's interesting because Trisha can't transfer what she's done to someone else. She can't transfer that to, like, well, if it happened to me. For instance, like, you know, if one of her boyfriends were to hook up with someone and then one of her boyfriends came back and they were together, and then he said, you know, yeah, you know, this other girl that I hooked up with, you know, she can go and go and go. I can only, you know, 10, 20 minutes, you know, that's it for me, but this person can go, and then talk about size. Not that she did that with Aaron, but she's done that before. I'm just saying that to Aaron Carter's girlfriend, that must hurt. That must really, really be painful to hear those words from Trisha, because it's one thing to think, okay, you hooked up with someone when we were broken up for 48 hours. You know what I mean? You hooked up with someone when we were broken up for 24 hours. Do you want details? Do you really want to know that he can go on and on and on, and that, you know, you just lay there, you know? And yeah, I don't think so. I think that's a little bit TMI, and I think that that would hurt the girlfriend, and I would think that the girlfriend would, you know, have that reaction to that in a way that would be like coming really hard on her. So maybe that's, I'm not sure if that's the, you know, how the timeline worked out, but I know when the girl said, oh, I might have to go to the doctor to get checked for STDs, I mean, it's just like, girl, now you've slept with Trisha. You know, it's just kind of, I mean, when you look at it through a different lens, you kind of see how nasty all of this stuff is. It's just nasty, and I do mean nasty. And I want to say something else about Trisha Paytas, and this goes to show self-esteem. Okay, I know that there are a lot of people that consent, and they're okay with pleasing their hookups, okay, because it was a hookup with her when Trisha Paytas allowed someone to take a dump. It's just to take a dump on her chest. Okay, that's what she said. She said, "Yes, I've done this." This was with this was Dustin Daly and Nick Snyder when they had their all three of them did a video, and it was really good too. I was going to make another video on that. It was really, really good because because that's when Trisha said that she allowed someone to, when they were having sex, as part of the sexual thing, because he liked that. That's what she said. She said, well, he liked it, so to please him, I allowed him to shit on her. Listen to me, you guys. I do not care that it was okay with Trisha to do that. What it means is your self-esteem. If you allow someone to take a dump on you, right, on your naked body, you have very, very low self-esteem. You have to have low self-esteem. No one in the world with a high self-esteem or high self-worth, right, or anyone with any kind of dignity would allow another person, with their permission, obviously, to do that to them. I mean, it's worse than peeing on someone. That is the worst of the worst. I was horrible. I couldn't even, oh my God, that was like one of the worst things I heard Trisha say that she's done, really. Even worse than her doing the whole team of NFL players, was it, or whatever it was. This was the worst thing. I am really happy to see Trisha coming out of her depression. Let's see after her tour what happens, and if she goes back to being sad because she doesn't have anything else to occupy her mind. She should be thinking about buying that house that she wants instead of just talking about it, or making the active changes in her life, like getting some professional singing lessons. That is, I mean, if you're gonna be out there touring, and I hope to go, I really do want to go. And I did get tickets to go last year, but then Jason Nash pulled out of it, and they weren't really promoting it at all. I'm the one who promoted their tour. I made a whole video about it, and I was like, wow, Trisha and Jason, they're not really promoting this tour very much. I think it was because they were fighting so much, and then Jason ended up pulling out of it, and then Trisha didn't know if she was going to go through with that tour, but then she ended up doing it, and she didn't feel good about that tour. She said, that she loved the meet and greets and everything else like that, but she didn't think that her performance and that she thought she could do better on stage in performing. So she's doing better because she's got the dancers this time. I watched the videos of her performances on this tour. The audio sounds horrible, but I'm not going to say it sounds horrible when you're there because I'm not there. But if you've gone to one of her shows, let me know what the audio sounds like, if it sounds like the audio and the speakers are on point. And I want to go to her show in, is it October or November, something like that, here in LA. I do want to go, so I'm going to see if I can do that. So let me know your thoughts down below on everything I just shared with you. And yeah, let me know about this hookup culture and what you think about it. All right, you guys, I love each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.